friends. How's everybody doing? Thank you, everybody, for joining me on Achieving Wellness on this fine Wednesday evening. Thank you, everybody, for all of your kind wishes and your Reiki and your love and your wishes for me to get better. This is my second bout with this nasty cold flu thing, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I woke up on Saturday and my throat was a little bit sore, and I didn't really think much of it. I was talking a lot, and the next thing I knew, I was like, oh gosh, I feel like crap, and I hate canceling anything, and so I ended up having to cancel. I was supposed to be with Ron on Saturday night. And I had to cancel my Sunday show, and I had to cancel. I was supposed to be with Gerald on Tarot Stash on Monday, and I had to cancel, and I canceled from Circle of Friends. So I apologize because I don't like to cancel. I apologize to my guests. I don't like doing that to them because everyone's time is important. And to all the subscribers, I appreciate your patience. So thanks everyone for hanging out and being here. Cardamancy Mesquite's in the house. Hi, Ange. Good to see you. Hi, Mika. Good to see you, my friend. Hi, Lisa. Good to have you here with us. Thank you so much. So tonight we are going to talk about motivation. And it's going to be a short conversation. And then I've got a spread that I've sort of come up with to throw cards to sort of help us with if any of us are lacking motivation. This conversation couldn't come at a better time for me personally. In full honesty, I have been struggling for probably about a month now, finding motivation. And I don't know if it's the winter blahs. I don't know if it's the energies going around. I don't know if my anxiety, because it was peaked when I first got sick. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know. I'm just trying to roll with it and do the best that I can. So I really wanted to talk about this. So I hope that you guys get something out of it. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to show you something that I've got that I thought might help motivate all of us together. Now, I know not everyone celebrates Christmas, but in the spirit of the season, right? In the spirit of the season, I purchased this beautiful little advent calendar. So an advent calendar sort of counts down the days from December 1st to December 25th. And what happens is they're numbered, as you can see. And there's like this little drawer, and you pull it out, and inside is a little message or a trinket or something of that nature. And so every day, starting tomorrow, hopefully fingers crossed, because I've ordered something that has to go inside of it, and I don't have it yet. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that all works out for me. So tomorrow, and then every day till the 25th, I'm going to do a special little reading, and we will pull out the messages or whatever the surprise is in each of the boxes in a way to sort of help us as we navigate this season. It's not easy for people. A lot of people have a very hard time at the holidays and get very sad or feel isolated. And this is just my little way of sort of helping us sort of stay on top of that, right? So I look forward to that, my friends. That's, of course, if the cats don't eat the trees off of here, which I can't guarantee that they're not going to do, because my kitty cats are cray cray. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Gypsy JJ. So I thought this was really interesting. As always, I do a little bit of research before I do these shows in an effort to make sure that I'm giving you guys good information. There may be a free reading in one of those boxes. You never know. So What is the importance of motivation? I thought this was interesting. I'm trying to get my square bigger here. I have those sticky notes, that are on the computer, and I can't ever get it right because it's always overlapping something else. Hi, Anna Banana. Okay, so, and I'm actually wearing my pajamas. I hope that that's okay. I sort of thought that they didn't really look like pajamas, but these are my new pajamas that I purchased, and I'm very excited. I washed and dried them today, and so I'm feeling all comfy. And I apologize, I look a little off kilter, but I promise you guys, I'm feeling a whole lot better and well on my way. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So what is the importance of motivation? Motivation reflects something unique about each one of us. It allows us to gain valued outcomes like improved performance, enhanced well-being, personal growth, or a sense of purpose. Motivation is a pathway to change our way of thinking, and I love that. I never thought about it in those terms before, but that really resonated with me. Motivation is a pathway to change our way of thinking. So, not sure where everyone is going. My numbers just went from 14 to 6, so hopefully people come back. So it's a motivation is a pathway to change our way of thinking, feeling, and behaving, right? What are the two basic types of motivation? Motivation comes from two places. We have intrinsic motivation, which is when motivation comes from internal factors to meet personal needs. So we will do things because we enjoy them, not because we have to do them. That's what an intrinsic motivation or motivator is. Extrinsic motivation. This is when motivation comes from external factors that are often aided or controlled by others, or we feel like it's controlled by others, like in your workplace, for example, right? Hi, Spiritual Rain. Thank you, Lisa. You're very kind, my friend. So what are the characteristics of motivation? Motivation is a process of inspiring, energizing, reducing, and activating ourselves to achieve a higher level of whatever the goal is, a higher level of performance, a higher level of well-being, a higher level of spiritual understanding, that type of thing. The process starts with unsatisfied needs. So, I don't move. I don't leave the house. I don't see my friends often enough. I don't look after myself well enough. I don't eat enough vegetables, whatever the case may be. It comes from a feeling of being unsatisfied that you then say to yourself, I need to change this habit, and I want to try to motivate myself to do this, that, whatever it might be, right? So through the unsatisfied needs, you can move through that tension, and it drives you to create a goal or an intention, right? You're trying to get to an achievement, an outcome. Hopefully, once you start to make progress, it ends with a reduction of the tension around the unsatisfied need that started the whole ball rolling in the first place. Now, that sounds like a very scientific way of saying, and you guys have heard me say this, push the stool out, for years because of the anxiety and panic disorder. I was frozen in fear, and I would literally sit in my chair in the living room that had a stool in front of it. And one day I just thought, oh my God, I can't sit here like this anymore. I have to do something. I didn't care what it was. The littlest achievement, the littlest goal, the tiniest of tasks was enough to spark some inspiration and motivation in me. And so I started saying to myself, push the stool out. And I literally would push my stool out, get up, and try to do something, whatever it was. And then I would celebrate the bejeebers out of it, right? And so that was my way of motivating myself, because I wanted to get to a desired outcome. And the outcome was to stop sitting there staring off, watching other people live their lives while I was frozen in fear, right? Now, this I thought was super interesting. Spiritual motivation. So I looked it up, right? Intrinsic motivation, defined as the innate propensity to engage one's interest in spirituality and to satisfy spiritual needs, included to have peace and acceptance. So in other words, what does it mean to want to motivate yourself spiritually, to increase or to be better, right? To be more informed, to have a better connection, right? The reason why we would do that is because we feel like we don't have enough peace or acceptance. We talk about that all the time here, right? Because we're trying to seek healing of past pain, a past hurt, a past trauma. We're trying to release or let go of something that we've been holding on to that has affected us, in terms of a forgiveness type of idea, right? It helps us to be able to cope with our everyday challenges and obstacles that are put in front of us. It allows us to be able to navigate things just a little bit easier. And I thought that was super interesting as well. And so that was sort of what I got from Google about motivation. And it sounded like I needed to put it in here. But now let's talk like us together, and then we will do some readings. As I said, I created this like motivational kind of spread, and so, you know, if anyone wants a reading, we'll do that. I would love to know how you guys motivate yourself when you feel down, when you feel tired, when you feel exhausted, and you've got laundry, or you've got to, you know, run to the store to grab milk, or whatever the case may be. What are some things that you do to encourage yourself, that you've got it in you to take that next step, to do those next few tasks? What allows you to push forward? Because by you sharing those things in the chat, hopefully it helps other people to be inspired if they are feeling a lack of inspiration to even motivate themselves, which is sort of where I am, to be perfectly honest. I feel like I have all of the inspiration in the world, but I have no idea where to start. And so that frustrates me. And then I just don't do anything, which just causes a whole lot of frustration. So I would be really interested to know if anyone is willing to share what you do to either find inspiration to motivate yourself, or just to motivate yourself in general. Spiritual Rain says, feeling at peace, relief from pain and stress, reward and joy are all of my greatest motivations. And you know what's really interesting? Like, it should be. That totally should be what all of us use to inspire us to be motivated to do whatever it is. But oftentimes we don't do that. Oftentimes we get just so stuck on the outcome, and they mentioned that several times in these in this, you know, this information that I gathered. Spiritual Rain says, I think that my motivation is based on love for me, laundry, shopping, etc. I think of my family, and I do it out of love for my family and home. And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I love that. I love how you have taken what seems to be a mundane or boring task to most of us, where we're literally, the store closes at 9 and it's 8:50 and we're like, oh my God, I got to get in there. Do you know what I mean? I love how you have changed that to make it positive for yourself, right? To do it based on a motivation of I'm helping my family and I'm bringing my home together. I love that. The spiritual rain says, and sometimes when I'm truly down, I just look at my dogs and see how sweet they are and how they rely on me. It forced me to get up in the morning when I never wanted to. That's a great point. I think that Lisa could speak to that point probably better than any of us could, in terms of the pets and what the pets do for us. When you get up in the morning, as Spiritual Rain said, and they're kind of looking at you like, I need you to feed me. Charlotte does this. She literally, it doesn't matter where she is. If it's time for her to eat, she would literally sit in a spot in the kitchen, in the living room, or whatever, and just yell like meow, meow, and until someone it's like she thinks that we know what she wants, and most times we do know what she wants, because they really only are vocal for a couple of reasons, but that's what she does. She just literally, and it's funny because I kind of look at her and I kind of giggle and I think, check her out. She's so itty bitty. She's so tiny, but that girl is standing in her truth, and she's owning it. And I sometimes wish I could be more like her, like more like the cat. Like, I need help and I need it now. And I love that. Right. Lisa says for her, she just has to do it. I have no one else. It just made me a very strong person. No matter what, I'm going to make it. You know what? And I love that, Lisa. I love that you have that fierce sense of independence, that you use that to motivate yourself, and you don't mince any words about it. Like, I'm not saying it's always easy, but you're like, I have to. I don't have an option here. And I love that you just own that. Anna says, I have to put on Spanish music. It relaxes me enough to move. Through movement, my brain begins to process what needs to be done. I love that. Yeah, sometimes, you just need to like throw on some music and dance around. Sometimes you need to, put on a comedy show and just laugh for half an hour and get the frustration out of you. And the frustration is the hurdle. It's the jump off point, or the starting point, right? Once you get started, usually it's not as bad as you thought it was, kind of idea, right? Spiritual Rain says, my dogs kept me alive at the worst of the depression back in 2003. I told them I chose life, and I felt the strong need to keep that promise. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. No, absolutely, Lisa. Absolutely. I mean, I remember when I was divorced, and, on the outside, everyone thought I was, look at her, a little Miss Independent, and I didn't want to prove anyone wrong. And I was doing laundry in my bathtub, and, I couldn't afford a phone and I couldn't afford cable, but on the outside, I was doing it. All I wanted to do was go home. And I had to keep telling myself that this situation that I found myself in is better than what I came from. And I tell you, there were days when I was like, oh no, it's not, and that's just because it was fear. I was scared, I was tired, and I was fearful. Right. So I get it. Hi, Lise. Hi, Linda. Spiritual Rain says 80s one hit wonders does it for me. Laugh out loud. Sometimes I cry and scream. Lisa says, no worries, no worries. We're talking about motivation. We just did a little WeChat, and now we're talking about some ways that people go ahead and inspire themselves, motivate themselves. I created a spread. Let me see. I almost hit the wrong button. So, of course, this is for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. So here is the spread that I have come up with. Okay, so card 1 is what is standing in your way. Card 2 is where can you find your inspiration. Card 3 is guidance from your spirit or your angels. Number 4 is like an affirmation type thing, right? So if anyone wants a card, like a reading, let me know in the chat. Let's toss a few cards and let's see if we can help to inspire some people to do something that they've had on the back burner, or give them a little extra sort of pep in their step, shall we call it, to be able to move forward. Yes, no, 100% spiritual rain. I'm that way too. Like, I love to craft and I love to paint things and decorate and all that kind of stuff. And so there are things, if I'm passionate about it, I will do it. Although I used to be very passionate about gardening, and because I don't move around so much, even that has fallen by the wayside. All right, Lisa Foster is up on deck first with a reading to motivate. Love it. All right, so Miss Lisa Foster. Trying to figure out what deck I'm going to use. There we go. Well, you got 2 cards that came out there. All right. And for your if you're in a toxic relationship and you've been beaten down, how do you motivate yourself to get out of it when you have zero energy to deal with the impending pain and the stress? That's a question. I knew that was going to happen. My answer to that would be this, spiritual rank, because I've been in that situation. I kept it very well hidden. Nobody knew. And I suffered silently for a long time. And I don't recommend that. Once I started to reach out to the people around me, my friends, my family, and let them know how I was doing and what was happening to me, I found a wonderful, supportive group of people that love and that support and their sort of embrace of me is the thing that sort of boosted my courage, and allowed me to move forward in a way that I don't know. I probably would have stayed there a lot longer if it hadn't been for sharing that with some people. And I realize that not everyone has those people, but that's what I did. All right, so Miss Lisa, this is what we have for you, my dear. So, what is standing in your way? We have surrender to silence. Okay. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Now, I think that's not a ha-ha funny, but you had mentioned before, I don't have anyone, so I have to do for myself. I feel very much like this is the difference between being alone and being lonely, if you understand what I mean. Not saying that you're lonely, just it's the mindset. It's a different word, right? Being alone with your thoughts, alone with your person. Some people are not comfortable with that, right? Some people don't do well on their own, meaning they have too much time. So maybe whether they have a person in their life or not, they keep themselves busy with hobbies and extra activities so that they don't have to spend time by themselves, right? Oftentimes when we spend time with ourselves, that's when our thoughts, sort of can spiral out of control. So I think this card is asking you to not quiet your mind, but get in touch with the quiet side of your mind, like to be okay with just being, not doing anything, right? This isn't a hit that I'm having because we're friends on Facebook. I see all the things that you post. You're a very busy, active person. And, in those quiet moments, it is so interesting what comes to you. All right. So the next the next card is, where can you find inspiration? And I literally got the inspiration card, which is crazy. So this says, be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. And so, right, perhaps in that quiet moment, I know, even with the spiritual stuff, that if I get really, really quiet, especially before I go to sleep, and I say, Spirit, show me, right? Tell me, make it clear to me, send it a message to me in my sleep or something of that nature. But like crystal clear, it will come to me. And so, but I have to be very quiet in order for that to do that. Lisa says, it took me a long time to get there, but I'm okay with being alone. I'm surrounded by hairy kids. I love it. All right. So the next card is your guidance from your spirit or your angels. Okay. We have the moon energy. These two cards both came out at the same time. And you guys seen that. They flopped out or flew out, whatever. Hi, Marcia. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of your life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. And it's interesting, that I was saying about the sleep. So this is quieting your mind before you go to sleep, right? If you've been worried about something or you've been stressed about something, write it on a sheet of paper. Say, I have worried about you enough. And I'm reclaiming my time. It's because you want to clear your mind so you can have a good night's sleep, right? Maybe that's the silence they're referring to. So now this is your motivational affirmation kind of idea, okay? And we have the cougar. And the cougar is assertive. And it's really interesting that you put a missing cat. Yes, and there you go. There's the cat. So the message on this card reads, in silence you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and you know what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. And you've already said, because you've had to. So you know, probably better than most people, because you don't have a person to say, hey, can you help me out with this? Or you feel that you don't. You already know that you are strong and that you are a powerful sort of force, right? Just knowing that, though, sometimes can be very exhausting. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. I hope the intention behind this is to boost you up just a little bit, to make you think when you go to lay down tonight and go, you know what? She's right. I got this. My whole life, and I'm just trying to sum up what I was trying to say because I'm not really feeling great. So I don't know if I'm doing a great job of explaining this. Excuse me. When my whole life, and I'm talking my whole life, I have been told that I am the strong one, that I'm the strongest person that people know, and I'm the one that's got to do this because I'm the strong one. There's a moment where that is lovely, that people see that in that quality in you and turn to you because they feel you're the person, you know. But what an extraordinary amount of pressure that it puts on you, because in those moments when you think that you're not being strong enough, you feel like you're letting people down. You feel like people are disappointed. You feel like people are judging you. You feel like people are looking at you funny. And so the point that I'm trying to make to you specifically, Lisa, is because you've had to do it on your own doesn't mean that it's easy, and it doesn't mean that you want it to be that way. But when push comes to shove, you know, as sure as you're standing there, that you've got it in you to push through, right? That's your motivation, if that makes sense. Spiritual Rain says, Kelly, you just showed us a perfect example of motivation. On another live, you mentioned you started reading just this year. Look at how this passion has motivated you. You help a lot. Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Thank you, Marcia. And I get it. I get being exhausted. Like I said, I been there, done that. It was no fun. Okay, so that was Lisa, and I think Linda said that she wants. I'm just going back up. Yes, Linda. Okay, Linda, there you are. Go all the way back down to the bottom. You're very, very welcome. All right, so I'm going to put the banner back up so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so Miss Linda. All right, what is... Go here. Whoop. Okay. Oh, thanks, Marcia. You're kind. All right. For Miss Linda, what does Miss Linda need to know to improve her motivation? I sort of knew that card was going to come out. Where can you find inspiration? Let's go here. You know, as we develop this relationship between ourselves, right? The people in the chat and myself. And there's certain programs that I do that the same people always come to. And I love it in that moment when I sit here and I think to myself, that's exactly what I thought it was going to come, because I feel like I know you. Do you know what I mean? I think that that's beautiful. Okay, guidance from... Sorry, friends. I'm all over the place. Blah, blah, blah. Lovely. All right, and for Miss Linda... Okay. All right. So, what is standing in your way? What is standing in your way is meaning like an obstacle, maybe a challenge to you, a hump in the road, something that you have to go around. You know what I mean? We have spirit mentors and teachers. So the first thing I want to say is you're not alone, if this is true for you, if that resonates. So many of us in this community, myself included, have trouble sometimes with our connection. We don't understand the message. You know, we're not sure what we're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? You have to trust in that connection. In other words, you have to trust it like I trust my husband, right? My husband's got my back. He is my biggest fan. He's my biggest cheerleader, and he loves me. So he's going to always try to protect me and look after me to the best of his ability. Spirit's no different. Spirit's got your back. They love you. They want to protect you and keep you safe. And sometimes it's difficult to really wrap our heads around that whole concept, right? Sometimes, we forget to listen to our gut instinct. We forget to tap into our inner wisdom. It's that kind of idea where I'm going with it. So I don't know if this resonates, Linda, or not for you, but I think that if you're having difficulty with some sort of an obstacle or a challenge, or every once in a while it happens, just try to remind yourself that Spirit has your back, that they love you, that they protect you, and that they're there to work with you, not against you. So that will allow you to sort of drop the, oh my God, I don't know the answer kind of feeling, and allow the answer to come, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you're having distractions to that extent, but thank you for the confirmation. So where can you find inspiration? Well, it's like I read that and I pulled that card, but you guys seen me pull it before. So this is about balance, right? Balance is, in my opinion, like the hardest thing to maintain. It's the hardest thing to do. The list, our honey-do list, the list that we leave on the fridge for people to do like repairs around the house or whatever, or lift all the heavy boxes. This is our honey-do list. This navigating this balance. It's so hard. It's so hard, but it's so important. And there's little things that we can do. It's not going to make a massive swing or a massive shift, but there's little things that we can do to help ourselves every day, right? We can go outside, put our hands on the bark of a tree, which will ground us. That increases their feeling of being more balanced, right? Because we feel more in tune, more centered, more sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? More inner peace. We can turn the music on and dance around a little bit and lift our vibration, because we're getting rid of some of the negativity and increasing the positivity within ourselves. You could go outside for a walk. You could just stand there and look out the window, look up at the moon, look at the stars, get lost in the tranquility of that moment, and allow yourself just to really feel it, right? Grab a hold of an amethyst or a clear quartz or a rose quartz. All of those stones are really good for just sort of very calming, soothing, kind of Zen kind of vibes to them, right? Okay, guidance from your spirit or your angels. Beautiful card. We have infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. Now, based on your comment, you don't feel like that's right at all. But abundance is a state of, it's like I say $100 is a lot and you say $1,000 is a lot, and the next person says $1 is a lot, and the next person says $10 is a lot. It's open to interpretation, right? Look at the picture and see the support network of the people in the village sort of surrounding themselves, and they've said, you know what, and if we all just stand there and pick these apples and fill our individual baskets, it's going to take forever. So if we work together and we open up this blanket or whatever this is and allow all the apples to be put into this one place, the three of us will work faster together. We can support, they're laughing, they're singing, they're, you know what I mean, like they're helping each other, they're lifting each other up. It's that whole, we're stronger together kind of idea. And I feel like this is asking you to take a step back, right? You need to take a step back to regain your balance, listen to any messages that you're getting, and see the situation for what it is. And I mean this not to be offensive, but not what you think it is, right? Meaning, you can't change the outcome of a situation. You can change how you react to a situation. You can change how the situation affects you, right? Because you're no good to anyone if you are a hot mess. And I'm not saying that you are a hot mess, but you know what I'm saying, right? If a situation is so dire that it affects your mental clarity and, your livelihood or relationships within your family or your friends or something of that nature, you're no good to anybody. So if you take a step back and just try to I got to get myself okay so that I can come back out here and deal with this the way I need to. Sometimes that's enough, right? What is your motivational affirmation? We have inner child. Nurture your inner child and begin to express the awesome beauty you hold within you. We live in a world where a formula exists for everything. Yet love and creativity have no formulas. They do not need to be studied, simply nurtured. Regularly set aside some time to just play. Like that. Like just hang out. You know what I mean? That's what I got for you, Linda. I hope that helps. And that's very kind of you to say. Marcia says, Linda, this is Satan trying to throw you off. You have not lost your connection. It needs a tune-up. And that's the thing. When you are distracted, when you are anxious, when you're stressed, when you're upset, when you don't feel good, your connection doesn't feel as strong because your vibration has lowered. Right? Anyone else want a motivational reading? While I am here, present and accounted for, and if you are just tuning in and you didn't hear. So, this, my friends, is a Advent calendar. Now, I realize that not everyone celebrates Christmas, but this is my own sort of little way of inspiring us, working together to be supportive of each other, because the holidays themselves are not easy for everyone, and people have a difficult time navigating it, quite more so than we even realize. And so each day we will pull out one of the little individual boxes and reveal the surprise inside, and we're going to use this as a way to motivate, to inspire, to support each other, because as I always say, we are stronger together than we are individually. And so this is my little way to help us sort of support each other as we navigate the holiday period. So stay tuned for that, friends. Hopefully the kitty cats don't eat the trees. Oh, hi, Lady Soul. Night, honey. You're welcome, Linda. You know what? Grief. I understand, Linda. If you ever need to talk, you know that you can just send me an email. You threw me off for 10 years, so I understand. I understand. Just know that we're here for you. Yes, there may be a free reading in one of those boxes. You just never know, friends. All right, let's do Lady Soul. I'm not going to put you up on the screen, Lady Soul. These are the cards here in on the board here. Of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. What does Lady Soul need to know to motivate her? To help inspire her, what does Lady Soul need to know? Right? Hint, hint, laugh out loud. Absolutely, Anna. All right, where can you find the inspiration? God, I can't hold on to my cards tonight. Good Lord. So yeah, so as I said, that's going to come out every day. Sometimes it'll be a part of the daily reading. Sometimes it'll just be up on the community post kind of thing. But I am waiting for another part to come that sort of, they work hand in hand. So tomorrow it won't be up first thing in the morning, but you know what, Gypsy JJ, I don't know that I've ever had one either, and I've always wanted one, and I just sort of went, you know what, I'm getting it. So I'm glad to share it with you, my friend, of course. All right, guidance from spirit or angels. All right, and okay. Hi, Vivian. How are you, love? It's good to see you, my friend. I will be back on Friday for Think Spirit. It's Friday. It's just me, meaning no guests. All right, here we go, my friend. So, Lady Soul, what is standing in your way? Surrender to stress. I mean, I pretty much think that this could be for anyone. So, but it's a lovely image on the card, right? Lovely image on the card. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. You know, I wish that there was something that I could say to myself, not to other people, but to myself, to remind myself that I know that carrying stress is nonsense. It does me no good. It does not serve any purpose other than to debilitate me, really, to make me feel less energized, to make me feel moody and upset or fearful in some cases. So when I say that, you know, that's like a blanket statement. We all suffer from stress at some point or another, but we also all know that if we pretend it's not there and we don't deal with it, that does not work. We don't achieve anything by doing that except for debilitating ourselves. And we also all know that we must deal with the things that are put in front of us at some point or another. You have to deal with them because, you know, pretending like they're going to go away, that doesn't really work. So when everything else that you've tried does not work, take yourself to a lovely, scenic, quiet, serene, tranquil kind of state of mind, whether it's in the bathtub or out in nature at a lake, and just tell yourself to breathe in and breathe out. And when you breathe out, let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Where can you find the inspiration? Which sometimes the inspiration is not, that's not ever my issue. I have all kinds of ideas, but I almost over idea myself. This is really interesting. Look at the card that I've got for you. Magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. The fairies say you can bless others too. And you do that with your messages. You know, it's kind of painful to me to think of you being so talented and so connected and so gifted, giving so much healing to others, and yet you're stressed. But at the same time, I applaud you and your courage and your bravery, because it is so inspiring for other people to see that you're normal, right? You too have all the same issues and problems that we all have, and so I applaud your courage, and your willingness to share that with people, because it's through these moments when you share that people find something and say, wow, you know what I mean? And so I appreciate you for doing that. This is the guidance from your spirits, angels. We have the Aspen Spirit and Courage. Now, because I know you a little bit, Lady Soul, and we have talked a little bit, I know your backstory. And so I know that you know what this means. I know that you have had to tap into that courage. You've had to display that courage. You've had to stand on the pedestal of courage. And I literally want you to take in what I just said in terms of the courage of being brave and standing in your truth. Because if you can shift the thinking about how one displays courage or how one defines courage, it might actually be able to connect the dots in terms of the other stuff that you've been dealing with without giving too much of your stuff away. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. Your motivational affirmation. I love this card. We have the bluebell. What a gorgeous, gorgeous, I mean, look at that. Those two little bluebell birds. So this is always, this is the squirrel, not the bluebell. It's squirrel and always prepared. Now, this is such a good message for you. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. I'll read that to you one more time. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. That's a pretty awesome affirmation. Now, I realize it's kind of long for an affirmation, but the point of that is, you know you have the courage. You know you have the courage. You know, because of what you've been through, that you know exactly what is needed. You know that you are connected and that you are blessed. It doesn't make it easy to deal with the situations. That's why we're all here together, right? Lifting each other up, because we're stronger together than we are individually. But in terms of being able to overcome the obstacle or the challenge or the distraction or whatever words you want to put on it, you know from past experience that you have the tenacity, you have the strength, and you have the courage to be able to overcome it. And you know that. I don't need to tell you that. That's the thing that I want you to remember. When it gets like tough and it gets rough, that's what I want you to remember. That's what I got for you. I hope it helps. Don't tear up. All right. Anybody else want a motivational reading before we wrap it up for tonight? I thank everyone for being here and for hanging out with me. Like I said, I'll be back at 3 p.m. on Friday for, I think, is it 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. I put it, and you guys can check the notice. It's on the channel for Thanks Spirit. It's Friday, and we'll have some more fun. And then on Sunday, I have Nancy Jean coming for some past life readings, which is always fun. And I don't know what's happening after that because my mind is like blank at the moment. You want one, Mika? Awesome. Hi, Mama Bear. Sure, Gypsy JJ. I got you. So, Mika, I got you. All right. So, Mika, Miss Mika. Oh, it's freezing all of a sudden. You guys, the wind has been so bad here today. I don't know about you all where you live, but it's just been brutal. All right, let's start here. Miss Mika, what is standing in your way? Of course, my friend. I have too many cards. I kind of threw them. I was just like, whatever, throw them. Sometimes it happens, friends. Okay. That came out in a hurry. All right. Where can you find inspiration? Okay. And guidance from a spirit or angels. We're going to go here. Hi, Cal Lizzie. Aw, thanks. These are my pajamas, actually. I've been sick again for the second time in a month. My cold or my flu or whatever I had came back. And so I put my pajamas on because I'm feeling some sort of way. But thank you. I appreciate you saying so. Makes me feel better about showing up in my PJs. Bye, Anna. Stay safe, my friend. All right. Mika. We're almost there, my friend. Almost there. We have to get Lady Soul to come back and visit us. If Lady Soul is still in the chat, we'll have to get you to come and visit us in January, in the new year. Okay, Mika, really interesting cards for you, love. So we've got Surrender to Passion. Okay, so I'm going to read this message to you. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So in other words, you know, if you have people around you telling you you can't do something, those are the people that they don't want you hanging around with, right? You need to surround yourself with people who are supportive and encouraging and lift you up, right? That will work with you together rather than just standing on the sidelines telling you all the things that you might have done not to their satisfaction, if that makes sense. Okay. Where can you find inspiration? This is an interesting card because I got Transmutation, the Phoenix. Okay, so transmutation is different from transformation. But if you look over here and you've got this fire, right? There's like flames and fire, that's passion, right? The fire in your belly, as they referred to it. And you have the phoenix literally flying over the fire, right? This is a release. This is letting go. This is moving on. This is traveling. It's movement. It's getting past it. So I literally feel like whatever, I mean, it doesn't have to be one thing. It could be several things, but whatever that is, that's got a hold of you. And you know what I mean. It is on its way out. It's on its way out. So don't get discouraged. Just keep doing what you're doing, right? Remember, I say this all the time, you know, it took us years to get this way, right? To feel less than, broken, whatever the case may be. took years of behaviors and environments and situations that landed us in this spot, right? Don't think that it's going to be fixed in a hot minute. I mean, it would be lovely, but it's not going to be. And I'm not saying that you think that. I'm just as a reminder, right? It takes time. And this is one of those moments where you're being asked to be patient and kind with yourself, right? All right. So guidance from spirit or angels. And we have temptation. Okay. Now, this message reads, are you in denial about an unhealthy habit? Perhaps one that makes you feel bad? Again, sort of tapping into that first card where you may have some people telling you basically how to live your life, and you're not really sure what to do with that. You know what I mean? The fairy says that you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever its guise. So, in other words, again, this is about the fire in your belly, speaking your truth, standing in your power. So I don't know if this is at work, if this is at home, if it's a neighbor who just has something nasty to say all the time, or people that just make you feel less than, right? Make you feel like you don't belong, or that you're on the sidelines of everything. These cards are telling you that's not it at all. What you need to do to counteract and to motivate yourself to get past that situation or that feeling is you need to stand in your truth and just be like, I love me, I love my life, and I love what I'm doing. If someone else doesn't like what you're doing, it is called an opinion. And it is just that. It's their opinion. It's their issue, their problem to figure out. It's got nothing to do with you. It's their perception of a situation based usually on zero facts, right? So just as a gentle reminder to everyone, if someone is making you feel less than, they're not making you feel anything, because you're not going to let them make you feel anything. You're in charge of you and how you feel, not them. Their opinion is their problem, their issue. They need to sort that out. Got nothing to do with you. You keep being you, because you're perfect. You know what I mean? All right. What is your motivational affirmation? And I love this. We have opportunity. Wondrous possibilities and opportunities await you. Stop dwelling on past mistakes. Surrender the past lovingly. There is nothing to regret. All is always in perfect and divine order. Everything that you've ever experienced has helped you in some way or some form. The past, it's behind you. The path ahead is clear. Move forward joyfully and fulfill your heart's desires. I think that that's beautiful. I don't know if that resonated or not, but that's what I got for you. And I love that reading. I think that's beautiful. All right. Who do we have next? Thank you very much, Mika, for that. Appreciate you getting that. Gypsy JJ is up next. All right. So we'll do Gypsy JJ, and we might have time for like one more, and then we'll call it a night, just so I can save my voice. Actually, I'm going to take a drink. Oh, thanks, Mika. You're so sweet. Okay. Okay. Gypsy. All right, so we have time for one more. If anyone else wants a motivational reading, that's the cards that are on the screen. It's the little wee spread that I came up with for tonight. Thanks, Mama Bear. I appreciate you, my friend. I am trying, because I don't like being sick. It sucks. And it's my second time in a month, and I'm kind of over it at this point, I have to say. This time wasn't as bad as the first time, but it, like, honestly, I was just sitting here, and my throat was kind of sore on Saturday. I felt okay, and the next thing I know, I was like, oh my God, I need to lay down. Like, I literally, like, hit me, like, out of nowhere. Where can you find inspiration? Let's go here. Thanks, Vivian. Yes, if anyone wants to book a private reading with me, if anyone wants to possibly, get a gift certificate for a family member or a friend for the holidays, I charge by donation to the channel. So whatever you can afford, because I don't like anyone to feel like they couldn't afford a reading. And all you need to do is just email me. It's all in the description box below. So I do have gift certificates available, is where I was trying to say, but I did not say that. Beautiful. All right, and now we go here. All right, Miss Gypsy JJ. Okay. What is standing in your way? Surrender to stubbornness. Message on the bottom of the card reads, if you are tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Sometimes when we're displeased with an outcome or a situation or how people are reacting, and we don't communicate how we're feeling, we will, well, look at how hot I'm getting. My ears are burning up. We will often sort of take it in and push it down, right? Oh, maybe they had a bad day. And so, like, in other words, what I'm feeling isn't important. We'll just let them run with this. Do you know what I mean? So you're feeling some sort of way, but you're not saying something. And so what you're doing is by stuffing that down, and I'm not saying you're doing this. This is just a possibility. But I'm kind of feeling it. So you're stuffing it down so that you don't add any more fuel to the fire. But by doing that, you're actually making yourself miserable, right? Just a thought. Where can you find inspiration? In the forest. Going out into nature is a great place to find inspiration. But what's interesting about this card is that it's forest and it's diversity. Diversity, being open-minded, being open to share so that you're not feeling so stubborn, so you're not feeling so suffocated that you can't live the way you want or say how you feel or react or whatever the case may be. And again, I don't know if I'm right or not, but this is what I'm getting. Guidance from your spirit or angels. We have the Ancestors card, which is historical connections and purposes. So this card also came out at the same time. Archangels Edkael, and we have self-acceptance, compassion, and forgiveness. And so I really believe and quite strongly feel that your ancestors, your spiritual team are, trying to ask you to tap into that inner wisdom that they have provided you, right? I mean, it's your bloodlines, it's your heritage, right? They're trying to ask you to do that, to not forget who you are at your center, at your core, right? To stand up for yourself if you need to stand up for yourself, to speak your truth if you need to speak your truth. Do you know what I mean? So don't forget that you have that available to you. Okay. The last card that I've got for you is Overcoming Obstacles. This is the motivational affirmation, and I actually pulled two for you. So overcoming obstacles, you can overcome anything. You can overcome anything. And I know it's like, sure, easy for you to say, Kelly. The point is, we can. Each of us has the capability to overcome an obstacle if we would just get out of our way. Sometimes it's necessary to get in our way. You know what I mean? Because we need to express ourselves. We need to understand it. We need to navigate it. We need to feel it. We need to, let it marinate and feel how we feel about what we're feeling. Do you know what I mean? But that has nothing to do with whether we can actually overcome the obstacle. So, as a footnote, remember that you can overcome the obstacle. You have the power to do it. And lastly, I got the links. Keeper of Secrets. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. So again, that inner knowing, right? You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. I'll read that again. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. I don't know if I'm right or not, but if a lot of people are coming to you and sort of using you as their shoulder to cry on kind of person, right? Their voice of reason, their support person, and dumping all of their stuff on you, and you're just taking it all in and pushing it down. They walk away feeling great. You're now holding on to all that. So these cards make total sense to me now that I've read that. So stand in your power and make sure that you acknowledge how you feel if that happened to you and you feel some sort of way, and release it. Don't hold on to that. Don't stuff it down. Because who are you going to turn to? If everyone's turning to you and dumping on you, who do you turn to? Just something to think about. Hope that makes sense. Hope that resonates a little bit. And with that, my friends, I think that we are done for the evening. I thank everyone for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you also for all the kind wishes and the get well wishes. And I'm so grateful and appreciative for all of your love and your support. You guys are awesome. And I thank you kindly for your patience while I sort of start to feel better. As I said, look forward to the Advent calendar that'll be coming tomorrow. We'll start that, and that'll go to the 25th of December, with just a little motivational, inspirational sort of message that will hopefully put a little spring in our steps. So there's that. And as I said, I'll be back on Friday at I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern to do Thank Spirit is Friday, and then Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern for past life readings with Nancy Jean from Nancy Jean's Garden. So from me to you, I wish you many blessings. I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I will see you when I see you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.